Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today what we got is even more salt. Yes, there's so much, I don't know if I can get through it all. I'm trying the best I can while pushing out other content. However, the Xbox apocalypse is upon us. Yes, there's still rumblings and more rumblings of them going third party, or at least their first party games going to other platforms such as PlayStation and Nintendo. So, you know what? Let's not wait. We got a ton to go over. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right. So like I was saying, what we're going to do is go over a lot of salt here. We're trying to play catch up with a lot of the salt here. There's just so much. I want you all informed, all that good stuff. Right before we get to our first example, want to do a quick point out. I know some of Oh No It's Alex fans have been coming over my way. He supposedly is very upset at the fact that I stated in a previous video that he bought Diablo 4 when I was comparing the subject matter at hand, which was in fact our $70 games worth it. That was the subject matter at hand. The information that I was given, and from what I could tell, it showed me that he did buy the game. As a matter of fact, I guess, supposedly, and as you can see on some screens that they have, I'm not going to dive or show all this right now, he apparently was gifted Diablo 4, therefore he did not buy it. So I will retract that. That is on me if that is in fact what happened. Perfectly fine with that because I do not like to spread misinformation. Now, the other part of that is besides the point of the fact of the matter at hand, and that's when I was talking about $70 games, if they're worth it. Alex is still in the wrong there. Everything else I stated was 100% true. Inflation, what games are worth, they are. You're not correct there. So that's besides the point too, but that was the subject matter at hand. Just wanted to clear that up. So if any of his fans come over this way and they want to point fingers, I don't fabricate stories on purpose or anything like that, much like what Alex does. And again, I'm not going to be deep-throating microphones and other inanimate objects because why? So that being said, let's move on over. We have the first one being Pat Man Jones here. So, I have been hardcore Xbox ever since I picked up a Duke controller at E3 2001, and it's crazy to see that the community is the only one that goes through constant confusion and uncertainty. A roller coaster ride of mixed messaging and expectations could be a bunch of nothing though. And then down by the wayside here, Wily Racer again. I agree. I'm so tired of it, to be honest. I'm ready to jump ship to mainly buying games on Steam and Nintendo Switch. Xbox clearly doesn't give a crap where we play, and I'm just tired of being treated like a second-class gamer being on Xbox. Again, we're playing the victim card here, guys. Everybody's been telling you, console warring and trolling aside, everybody's been telling you the writing's on the wall. They are not your friends. This is not something that came out of left field. I don't understand. Let's move on. Next on the agenda here, we have a good one here from good old Tim Dog. Now, this guy has been suffering lately, and we'll eventually get to more and more of his. His is just enough content alone to fill up an entire video. Tim Dog, it's a matter of either go it all or don't. Crap or get off the bowl. If it were me, I put on hold another year. Let it die. This isn't the time to do this. Xbox is slated to have an unreal year. Look at the financials after the year, please. Don't dump cold water on everyone. Learn from the previous mistakes. That is all. This is one out of a million different freaking posts that he did. Not having a good time at all. Again, the theme is recurring as always. But especially here, they feel like they just didn't expect this, and they gave everything. So just to sit there to begging, please say something, all that good stuff, right? Just not happening. JV once again here. If you watch previous videos, you're going to recognize a lot of these names come up because they just keep putting themselves out there. JV, not even 2 years later, and you backstab all your fans that kept this brand from dying at Xbox P3, tagging, of course, Phil Spencer himself. You are worse than Don Matrick. Oh, man, okay. So once again, it's just another example of They're not your friends. They didn't backstab anybody that's a fan. They are a corporation, much like Nintendo, much like PlayStation. They are corporations. Do they want to do what they want for the consumer? Yes, to a point, but they're there to make money. There is no backstabbing involved, and that's where you put yourself as far as a target, as a bullseye, as a joke. This is when you see this stuff, it's a joke. Stop it. Get out of your feels. It sucks, but you put yourself in this situation by feeling this way, by trusting a corporation. Keep it in mind going forward, maybe. All right, Nerdizinho, PS5? I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry. So he tags Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg themselves. Exactly. To this day, I remember the phrase, Xbox doesn't have exclusive games. They made Xbox a joke, and when it has great games, Microsoft, devalues the brand by releasing its exclusive games from the Xbox ecosystem for Nintendo and PlayStation. Inadmissible in all caps. Well, you're not wrong on that end, sir, but at the same time, you guys did not buy your games like we told you to do. You thought you could put all your eggs in one basket, and so did Microsoft as far as Game Pass. So this is the result of what's happening. It's inadmissible, maybe in thought, maybe in theory, but money has to be made. What are you going to do about that? Buy your games? You should have bought it. It's probably too little, too late. I'll explain at the end of the video here. Peter Ovo, just a classic recurring member here. It's a mistake. It's short-term profit for long-term harm to Xbox consoles. I think we're at this point in time that you've seen this video that consoles might be in jeopardy for Xbox. We'll see. Papa Hefe, outside of old remasters like Quake or ongoing games like Minecraft and COD, they should not port their games to other systems, in my opinion, period. And of course, Peter Ovo, facts. Again, recurring theme. You had to buy your games. Look where you're at. Look at the feelings that you're exuding, the salt, the emotions, everything here. It's a giant coping session for all of these fanboys that are on social media that exude all of this, right? Absolutely crazy. Invader 1992, the lack of communication to address these rumors suggests that Xbox was making a massive mistake and likely destroying all the goodwill they built. They continue to treat their customers as third-class citizens. Exactly, you hit the point on the head. They hit the nail on the head, right? What do you expect? They continue to treat you like third-class citizens. Why? Because they are not your friends. How many times do I have to say this, guys? They're not your friends. They are corporation and business. They're going to treat you however they feel they need to treat you, or get that money from you as a consumer when it all comes down to it. Now, I'm not saying that every single person that works there on the Xbox side is a devious businessman that's out to get you from behind, but they have a job to do. The fact that you think they're not going to continue to treat you what a corporation or like a corporation or business needs to do, that's on you, buddy. Right? Just checking in. If Xbox does this, it will be the biggest mistake in Xbox history. I hope you are listening to your loyal Xbox fan base. Tags Phil, Sarah Bond, Aaron Greenberg, and Stein. We will not forget being betrayed. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, honestly, you're not going to forget. Are you part of The Walking Dead, Telltale's Walking Dead? Is that what you think this is? We're not going to forget that. What are you going to do? If they turned around and backtracked all of this at this point in time, you're going to turn around and support them regardless and keep being treated like a third-class citizen or getting the rug pulled out from underneath you. As simple as that, you know? So it doesn't matter. Tag all you want. Yes, they will see it. Yes, they will hear it. But how they act is ultimately going to be how they need to address it for their jobs. My goodness. All right, Gabriel tags Phil Spencer and company. Achievements. Releasing mediocre games. Check. No effort to strengthen the brand. Check. Complete brand depreciation. Check. proving every day that investing in Xbox was a mistake. Check. Time to go third party. Transition. I mean, 100% correct here, Gabriel. I understand this completely. You know, it's a lot to process, right? Everything that you said. This isn't a simple post. This isn't a simple tweet. But again, it comes down. I've seen this. The writing's been on the wall. I just don't understand why you have to be so faithful into a corporation that you can't take a step back and realize the direction that they've been heading for years. You all act like this is something that is just, you know, unimaginable. And I just don't understand where the thought process comes there. You have to detach yourself from the corporations and businesses. And I've had, you know, analysis and synonyms and everything else that you can compare this type of thing to, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, my gosh. So that's what we're going to do, is get those out of the way here. I don't want to make these 20 minutes a piece each time. I want to give you more content there. It's going to be a little bit more broken down. I know typically I do give you more and such in a video or whatnot, but at this point in time, there's so much salt. You might get some more content in the meantime. Typically, the listings will be Mondays, Wednesdays, stream Fridays, and you might get a bonus video here and there. But right now, like I said, there's a volcanic meltdown of all sorts of salts happening within the Xbox community. There's a lot more to share. I have more. We'll get that out there as well. I do appreciate you guys following along here, of course. But I do want to also state that, you know, I understand as somebody that supported the Sega Dreamcast exponentially and really went all in on that because I couldn't get my hands on a PlayStation 2. So I decided to go that route. And when I woke up to the news of, you know, Sega pulling out and stating they are going straight up third party was a gut punch. I get it. The writing was kind of on the wall back then, but we as gamers, unless you had access to magazines and other things, you couldn't necessarily pay attention, especially depending on your age back then, right? And we didn't know. So on one hand, I understand and I feel for you, but this day and age, we have so much information at our fingertips all the time, easily searchable, from the hardware sales to everything else in between. The lackluster quality of games like Redfall, Starfield not moving the needle. Game Pass itself is a huge component of giving games away day and date, thinking that they're making enough profit to where it'll work out. I don't understand why folks just couldn't understand and see what was happening. So, you know, just kind of wanted to end the video on that with a little bit more advice, a little bit more of a TED talk, but an Xvault talk here. And we're going to expand upon that in future videos as well. So just kind of wanted to share that. In the meantime, a little bit of a hint that I want to kind of go over with y'all. But again, I appreciate it. At this point in time, 1,065 subscribers out of the 1,500. Again, you guys are phenomenal. Thank you so much. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the interaction. You can always count on me to tell you the truth, to be real with you one way or the other. PlayStation preference or anything. If something was going on there, I'm going to be upfront with y'all. So just really appreciate you sticking around for the rides for that. So we'll end the video here. I just want to say one last thing, of course. Don't be a salty batch. We'll see you guys all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.